at my watch, you'll see how early I was actually scrapbooking. I was sitting having a coffee and I was like, I know what I want to do. I want to do a layout. And I knew that if I didn't get this idea out of my head, it would be stuck in my head all day while I was at work. So I very quickly came in my craft room and just went to town with this. Now, I didn't have any yellow, so I ended up going to my 12 by 12 paper pack called, I think it's called Fresh Lemonade it's called, and it's a P13 paper, and I absolutely love P13. So that's where I got the yellow from. Now, the 6 by 6 other colours that you can see there are from the 6 by 6 Doodlebug design floral/graph papers. And I have used this, I have nearly used all of that paper pad, which as scrappers, we don't always use all of a supply. Let's just call it for what it is. We don't always do it. So this is how simple this is. This is how easy this is to come together. Now I cut these, all the strips are the same width, 1/4 inch, and I just went through in rainbow order and just did rainbow, rainbow, rainbow all the way across the center of the page. And it was so pretty. I love this color. It's so pretty. These colors just, I haven't done a full-blown rainbow, I think, for a while. But yeah, this one was really good. I really liked it. Sorry, my voice is going croaky because I've just finished my 4th voiceover. This is my 5th voiceover this morning, and it's only just hit 7 o'clock. So my family have just now woken up, and as you can see by the time on my watch there, I was pushing to do this. Now, what I decided to do was as you saw, I ran a piece of tape straight across the center, double-sided tape, and then, which of course then left the tops and bottoms free. And then what I decided to do was fold these kind of like a hockey stick, like, so it has that angle on it. And I did that both top and bottom, but I didn't do it to all of them. I only did it to some of them, and I didn't do the angles exactly the same on each and every one. So to see what I'm doing, I'm actually lining up the first one I go over, and then the next one I lined it up parallel to that fold, if that makes sense. And that's what keeps all the little hockey sticks, I say with my little air quotes, my hockey sticks. And I love how that looks. It's just it's different. And I've got the big bright bold across the center. I had a couple of photos. Now, I'd printed these ages ago, and I never really thought about using them on anything because I thought, well, they're pretty silly. Like, why would you print those? But like me, normally, I don't like to waste things. So I've printed them. I might as well scrap them. So I decided to go ahead and glue these down because they were really pretty. I loved it. I could see where this was going. And I think at this point, do I glue them all down? I'm just using my Teflon bone folder just to really get that crease going. And these ends I should have waited before I did that, but anyway, that doesn't matter. It's fine. So this is where I'm I cut it wrong and it was just weird, but that's okay. Now, so all I've done is just created all that texture and color right through the center of the layout. Then I went ahead and I haven't used my Distress Oxide sprays for a while. One of the ways I like to use these is just as a paint. Just give them a shake and then just use them as a paint. I don't cross-contaminate each bottle with a different color. I make sure my brush is clean before I add it to, especially squeezed lemonade. It's a very pale yellow, and you don't want to contaminate the color, because then it'll obviously take on a whole different color. Now, I can't remember what I was doing here, but did something. Anyway, So I was literally just going to town with this layout, and it took no time. To say this is a power scrap is an understatement, because all I'm doing is just dragging the colours from the coordinating cardstock and just making little splotches and lines. Now that one I actually touched underneath, and I touched the other colour so it went more orange than pink. So yeah, I just wanted to fix that up and just adding a little bit of a splat. So there is a little bit of mixed media on it, but it's not difficult. Anyone could do this. Just get yourself a nice thin brush and go to town. If you don't have distress oxides, you could use watercolor paints, you could use color pencils, you use watercolor pencils, you could use felt pens. Can you see these photos? Aren't they hilarious? They're just avocados and tomatoes and broccoli, and you know, yeah, it's just crazy. Jen, she loves getting on my phone with, my kids don't have social media on their phones or anything, but I she gets on there with the Snapchat filters, and I tell you what, some of the photos that end up in my photo section on my phone cracks me up. It's hilarious. So I decided I'd use these. Now I popped them down there. They're really bright, bold photos. They were small enough, so it totally worked. Now, I think I actually just got up and said goodbye to my husband and whatnot. I still had a little bit of time up my sleeve before I had to go to work, so I thought I'll get these colours down, and I'm loving where it's going. I really am loving how this turns out. It's bright, it's bold, it's everything. So the Distress Oxide colours that I used Peacock Feathers, Mowed Lawn, KITSCH Flamingo, Abandoned Coral, Wilted Violet, Squeezed Lemonade, and Carved Pumpkin. And the other thing that I used on this layout was a black POSCA paint pen. That's it. That's all I used. And I managed to create this really quick, super bright layout. Absolutely anybody could do this. It's just gorgeous. I love looking at a really nice rainbow. It's amazing. I love it, love it, love it, love it. So yeah, I just think it's really, really pretty. Just adding a little bit of splatter there as well. So what do you think? Do you think this is something that you'd give it a go? You could do, instead of doing your lines up and down, you could do them horizontally. You could do them on more of an angle. You could do all sorts of things. If you don't want to fold the edges, you could just leave them straight, or you could taper them. You could dovetail them. You could make them into arrows. You could do that as well. My Gizmo's decided to stop snoring. He's finally realised that there are actually people out of bed right now, so he could go out there and get some cuddles. He's standing at the door hoping that someone opens it for him. But because my family can hear me doing a voiceover, they're not going to touch the door. So even though the door's not even fully closed, but they know. They know when I'm doing a voiceover, especially if I'm at this point. So I'm just about to finish my voiceovers for the day and I have to get ready for work. So, but that's all right. I've got a busy, busy day today. Hopefully the rain holds out today. It did rain this morning, but I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, one of the places I have to go to is, it's actually on a farm and they don't have a concealed driveway. So my Captiva, it struggled last time getting up the hill. We've had a lot of rain yesterday. So I'm going to, when I say it struggled, I was stressing I was going to get bogged. In all honesty, I genuinely was worried I was going to get bogged. So wish me luck today. Hopefully, if you see a muddy photo over on, if you see it over on Facebook, if I get all muddied and yuck, I'll put it on Facebook for you. You can have a laugh to see what kind of shenanigans I get up to during the day while I'm at work. So yeah, so I'm just creating, I just used my Posca paint pens. I used my pastel aqua and my pastel yellow just to create a two-toned effect on my title. and I'm just putting that on a 0.69 offset, just so it's got a point of difference from the colours underneath. I did consider going around it with black, but I didn't end up doing that. So when you're looking at the layout directly, you can actually read it perfectly, not a problem. So yeah, glue all my bits and pieces down, and I'm loving where this is going. It's awesome. Love, love, love it. So, oh dear, oh dear. So yeah, let me see. I'll let you know again that I'm going to do a live on International Scrapbooking Day, which will be, for me, it will be Saturday the 4th of May. That's when it is. So I'll be doing a live, and I'll do 1 or 2 layouts depending what I decide to. I might even go shopping and get some new bits and pieces. I might even do that before then. I've still got a week to go, so it's next week. So not this coming Saturday, next Saturday. So yeah, I really like how this come together. Once I put these black stripes on here, I loved it even more. I've got to be honest with you, I loved it even more. It just helped define the colours a little bit better. That's just my take. Would you have stopped and not done the black? Or would you have done it maybe a little bit wider? Would you have used a bullet tip pen rather than a finer one? I just went with the fine one just to give me a nice fine line between them. And I think that just looks really nice. I did do something that I regret, and it's right about there. I started going on these angles, and I'm not sure if I did a couple of them and then I thought, oh, I really shouldn't have done that. But I think it looks good. Would you have done that? Would you have, let me know below, yes or no. Would you have done it, or would you, nah, yeah, nah. I'm sort of now looking at it now. At the time I was like, yeah, nah, I should have left that alone. But now I'm looking at it, it actually looks okay. So, yeah, I could probably handle it. But you let me know what you would do in that situation, because we all do things differently. We all look at scrapbooking through a different lens, depending on what it is you want to get from your scrapbooking. Some people don't like mixed media at all. They don't like the wet medium. They don't like the buckled paper. Some people don't like just using paper, and I did do some black paint splatters on there as well. So yeah, so let me know, are you a mixed media person or not? Let me know. And look at all that juicy color. How cool does that look? I did get some splatters of paint. This is why I don't do splatters at the end. Oh, I got the splatters on my photos. But anyway, so there's my layout, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back and I will chat with you soon. Bye for now.